guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing kind of something a little bit different for me. Like, everybody else is already doing it. But I woke up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to choose to try. It is a Saturday morning. It is day 2 of Summerween because, day 1 I didn't do really anything. But I'm going to attempt to do a reading vlog for Summerween. Who knows if this will ever see the light of day. I was gonna say day of light because I never get sayings correct. But we're gonna try it. And I do have a TBR that is designed to try and get me out of a reading slump. I just finished The Merciful Crow and The Faithless Hawk, and I liked them, but they put me in a reading slump because that second book was so low. So I have designed this TBR to try and get me out of a reading slump. And it's actually funny because I have bookmarks in most of these books because I've started most of these books, like read a chapter and I was like, I'm gonna save it for Halloween. I'm gonna save it for when it gets like more cold outside, because right now it's a nice 90 degrees in Charlotte and I hate it. If I could live in October and November year round, I would. So I just want those Halloween cold vibes and I'm not getting them. So I'm going to read some books to give myself these vibes. So day 1, which I did not film anything on because it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. I was in a reading slump. I did read a little bit, but mostly what I did was watch The Goonies and the first 3 episodes of Fruits Baskets, the 2019 version. And I also was watching some horror Let's Plays by Super Beard Bros on YouTube. I'll link them down below. They're really fun if you like watching Let's Plays. And watching the final episode of a Let's Play for The Quarry. I was gonna say, if you're watching this, you might like horror stuff. So The Quarry is a horror game, and I was watching that by Jesse Cox, and I will also link his YouTube down below. Wonderful, very fun to watch those, and they just finished putting out the whole Let's Play. Anyway, back to books. The book that I started yesterday and that I'm going to be reading probably most of today, and hopefully will finish today, I'm planning on joining the Summerween host, one of them, Gabby Reads. The other host is Olivia Reads a Latte. I follow both of them on YouTube. I was planning on joining Gabby's Patreon because she's doing Patreon sprints today, I believe, at like 3 p.m. my time, Eastern. So we're gonna do that on day 2 and hopefully I can get through a lot of these books. So let me talk about my TBR. And we're gonna start with the one I actually did start yesterday, even though I think I read like 20 pages, and that was it. Yeah, I read 38 pages, and most of them I have already read. So like, I started this book before. So the book that I'm going to be reading today is None Shall Sleep. I'm really excited about this book. My understanding is it's like young adult FBI. So all of these books on this list, I believe, yeah, are, one is like cozy horror, as Gabby called it. So that one's the only one that's adult. But the rest are young adult, because young adult books tend to be easier for my brain to be like, oh, this is happening. And my favorite are adult thrillers, but young adult thrillers kind of can push me through reading slumps because they're really easy to read through and they don't take a ton of thinking. So None Shall Sleep is the first one, and it's kind of working. I just got to push through it. But it's about like these 2 people who are, I think they're 18, they're like right on the cusp of being adults, or considered adults. And they both have lived through like traumatic events, and the FBI, this is 1982, yeah, take it as in 1982, decides to basically bring them on for like an internship, and they are going to talk to teenage serial killers because the adults can't get them to talk. So I was like, this sounds really cool. And I was just in the middle of reading Mindhunter, the book after Mindhunter. I don't remember the about the FBI behavioral profile people. So I was like, you know what? Let's read this, because that was not doing it. Like, it's good, but again, in my reading slump, nonfiction is not going to work for me. So let's read None Shall Sleep. So this is what I'm going to try to be reading today, and what you'll see updates on for day 2 of Summerween, since day 1 pretty much doesn't exist. So this one, and then the other books that I have that I'm really hoping to read are Ecstasia. You can see I've already read like 2 or 3 pages of this. And again, it's so Halloween that I was like, I don't feel like reading this right now. This is basically about like a young adult exorcist kind of thing, but it takes place in like village era, whatever that means. So it's definitely written like in the past, which I actually really like, and those books are kind of fun. So that's pretty much all I know about this book is young exorcist. They were trained to be exorcists. They have some sort of powers, so that sounds good. This one's a little chunky, so I don't know. I feel like I might end Summerween with this one. It kind of depends. It depends how much I get through. So this one might be last just because it is like the biggest, and I think it's going to be the hardest for me to get through. So potentially this one I might read next, or the adult, but this one is The Counselors. I just picked this up from a local bookstore called Second Look Books in Charlotte. I'll also link them because they're a really, really cute, small, used bookstore, but they also hold like new releases. So this is one of their new releases. But I really don't know anything other than this is like, she goes to a camp that she used to go to when she was a kid, and now she's like a lifeguard there. She's a camp counselor there, and she's excited for her best friends to come and do stuff, and someone is murdered and there's secrets, and it just sounds like something perfect to get me through reading some, and it's short. So this should also help. So I'm really excited about this one. And last, and it's kind of a surprise because I meant to read this like a couple months ago or last month. Anyway, it is The Haunting of Ashburn House. Like I said, Gabby called this a cozy horror, and I totally agree. I actually love Darcy Coates books. I know they're not for everybody, especially not hardcore horror readers, but for me, I'm not a hardcore horror reader, so these are perfect. There's not a lot of guts and blood and graphic sex scenes, and it's just kind of all about like the vibes, and I like the vibes, and I love cozy mysteries, so cozy horror is like perfect. And I know like this wasn't Gabby's favorite read, but I'm gonna try it out. I'll hopefully like it. I've read like 2 or 3 of her other books that I've also liked, so I'm thinking I'm gonna like this. But this is another one that's gonna be probably really easy to get through. It's pretty short, so it just depends like what I'm in the mood for. If I finish those, I have some other like contenders. I have 2 thrillers from Book of the Month. I think You're Invited and Firstborn. So if I finish these, I will get to those. I highly doubt that. I also have House of Hollow up there, which I probably will also pick up if I finish these. Again, that's like bonus round. That's bonus round. We probably will not get to that. So that's my TBR, and yeah, we're gonna cut to the actual vlog. So I will see you guys in the next clips. So I decided I might as well knock out the, sorry, the back of my house is like a mess. So I decided I might as well knock out the baking prompt. So like, cause I don't plan on doing a lot of baking this week. And when I cook dinner, I'm stressed, so I don't want to read while I'm doing that. So, yeah, I am making store-bought cinnamon rolls because that's what we sometimes do every couple of weekends. So I'm making store-bought cinnamon rolls and reading, and then shall sleep. And yeah, I'm probably not gonna get too much done, but it's like 10 minutes that I have to wait, so I'm just gonna count it. Hey guys, technically it's day 3, but I'm going to play this off like it is still day 2, because I really wanted to update you guys on None Shall Sleep, but my next door neighbors decided to throw a rager, like, oh my gosh. And it's even funnier because it was a kid's party. I think it was like a kid's birthday party. But like our house was shaking and it was bonkers. So, and they were going until like 1 in the morning, and we ended up sleeping in the guest bedroom until like 4 this morning, and then we swapped over. So if I'm looking extra tired today, it's because I am. It was like 8 in the morning and I'm just like, I'm not having it. I couldn't sleep. Ugh. But I texted my mom last night. I was like, if this birthday party doesn't calm down with these crazy people, I'm gonna go over there and pop that bounce house. My mom's like, stop being such a party pooper. I'm like, you would be too if it was shaking your walls. We live in a really tight suburb. Like, we live in a cul-de-sac, and this neighborhood sometimes I just want to sleep. Like, we were like cool with it. Well, like, I was never cool with it, but we were like, whatever, to the party, whatever. They're normally really quiet neighbors, so it was kind of out of character. Until about midnight on a Saturday, I was like, okay, they can start toning it down a little bit, but it got louder. And you can just hear the kids like screaming next door, and I'm like, oh my gosh, aren't kids' bedtimes like 8 o'clock? But whew. So it's quiet this morning, luckily, but I'm still exhausted. That's the other thing. If you ever see me, you're probably gonna see me laying down a lot. I try not to show it in videos because I'm uncomfortable filming like this, but I actually have a really bad back. It started a couple months ago when I was at work, and they actually don't know like exactly what's wrong with it. I just saw a neurologist and they're sending me to physical therapy. So hopefully I'll be a lot better in a couple months, but we'll see. Oh, I'm also just like uncomfortable filming like this. It's just weird. But my back is really hurting this morning because I didn't bring my heating pad to the guest bedroom last night. So I did not get to heat my back before I went to bed last night. So that's what I'm doing this morning. I am laying in bed, heating my back, trying not to be in pain. But the good news is I did finish None Shall Sleep last night. The bad news is I really wanted to update you guys at 120 pages. I think the book's like 382, but I had a lot to say at 120 pages. So we're gonna pretend that this is first and update 120 pages. So I have like little notes and everything. My dog is so mad that we're awake right now. like so angry. He sleeps. He's is he 12 now? Yeah, he's 12. He's a 12-year-old Shih Tzu. And if I get up before 10:30, he's not happy. Let's see my thoughts. My thoughts on 120 pages. Oh, so the synopsis, I feel like definitely misled you a little bit. Oh, hold on, I'm gonna sit up. Oh, okay. The synopsis, it's really hard filming these. The synopsis kind of misled you a little bit. It made it sound like you were going to talk to like a bunch of teenage serial killers, and that was kind of like the focus of it, with like this undercurrent background of you talking to this like prolific teenage serial killer who had to do with the current case. So I was expecting there to be like kind of Mindhunter undertones where you're talking to all these kid serial killers and learning information. That was not the case. You interviewed like one teenage serial killer and you didn't even like get a lot of the interviews, only a couple pages. And then the focus was the one teenage serial killer who had to do with the rest of the case, like the current case. Sorry, my thoughts are a little dumb this morning because I'm so tired. But yeah, so I thought that was kind of weird. Like, I kind of wanted it to be more about like all the serial killers. It was still really good. I think I gave it a 4-star. I guess we'll get to that. See, I'm trying to do 120 page update. Let's see, what else do I have? That was the biggest thing. Oh yeah, I was really glad they didn't turn this into a romance. Like, you could have easily turned this into a romance between, so like there's two main characters. One is the survivor. I keep like showing that stuff over there, but it's tissue box. This is my husband's side of the bed, because my side of the bed is like completely flat, because I have to lay completely flat. And a Mountain Dew can holder. Because that's all he drinks. It's crazy. Like, I only drink water, and he only drinks like Mountain Dew and Gatorade. I try to get him to drink water. I don't know. It seems like a deep south thing. He's from like the hills of North Carolina, and I'm from Nova. So some of the stuff that he does is beyond me. We've been together 10 years, and I still am confused. Anyway, our two main characters, one is a survivor of a serial killer, which is why they brought her on. She's like 18. And then the other dude, his dad was a marshal and died because of the main serial killer in this. So it's a little, not the little, he's like 20 something now, or 18, whatever. But his dad died by marshal service, so that's why they brought them on, so that they could talk to this teenage serial killer and kind of know what's going on. Anyway, I thought there was going to be a romance between them. And it was like very, very subtly hinted at. Like, if there was more books in this series, I definitely think they would go that route. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe there is. So it looks like they're not going to do that, which I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they focused on the case and that kind of stuff. I also was a little worried for a minute they were going to make this like a serial killer romance. And I was like, this is young adult, right? Like, this isn't gonna start getting weird on me, because I know that is a, like, if that is your, like, you want to read about that? Good for you. But it was not mine. It is not mine. I know it's like a dark, that's definitely like a taboo, dark romance trope. And I know that because I listened to Chelsea, I think it's like Books and Goats, something like that, Books and Goaties. I don't like any of the books that she reads, but I love her, and I like her, like, listening to her opinions on stuff, and she has read some of these, like, serial killer romances, so I was like, oh, please don't do this, because I'm getting that vibe a little bit, but they veered away from that, so I was like, good, we don't need that. I think that was it, other than, oh yeah, it takes place, like, along I-81, which is fun, because, like I said, I'm from Northern Virginia. And if you don't know, Nova means Northern Virginia. But I went to Virginia Tech, so I used to drive from my parents' house up in Nova to Virginia Tech on I-81 all the time. And up where my parents live, it's by Leesburg and all these places that were mentioned in the book. So I thought that was kind of cool and also kind of creepy, because people are getting killed on I-81. So I was like, I'm really glad I'm still not driving that all the time. Well, this would kind of creep me out. So anyway, that was the 120 page update. I'm gonna give a more formal update, like my finishing thoughts. I'm not gonna include spoilers. I'm gonna try not to include spoilers in this vlog. If something crazy happens, I'll put like a spoiler thing at the bottom that I want to talk about. But in this one, I don't need to talk about any spoilers. So I'm gonna give my full update in the next clip, but I'm gonna heat my back a little bit longer and probably get some breakfast and maybe take a nap when my back's feeling better. But that's all I got for you for 120 pages. Again, we're pretending this is still day 2, so I'll see you guys in day 3. I don't even know what I'm doing. Welcome to day 3. Technically, I guess that's 6. 3 of Summerween. I was originally gonna do like every 2 days posting, but I just don't like film enough for a daily vlog because I'm so new at it. Like, I'm not good at filming B-roll, and I'm really like weird about filming myself. still. So, and my husband's been around a lot because, you know, it's the weekend, so he has to be around. And, but anyway, so I'm just gonna do every like 3 or 4 days. So I'll probably do, well, because it's 7 days. Alexa's listening. Did you guys hear that? That freaked me out. So I'm probably gonna do days 1 through 4 since I didn't do day 1, and then 3 to 7. 1 to 4, 3 to 7, and then 5 through 7. Man, it's been rough this morning. Like I said, I actually went back to sleep, so I feel a lot better, but because I went back to sleep, I'm still like out of it. But I feel a lot better. If you haven't seen, I'm still wearing my sleep shirt. I wear oversized shirts to sleep because that's what I'm most comfortable in, and it's so cute. I got this on Star Wars Day. From, gosh, I don't even remember the store, but I'll link them down below. They were doing like a buy one get one 50% off or something like that. Star Wars stuff on Star Wars Day. So I got this and my husband got a bunch. Anyway, let's talk about reading. So yesterday I really didn't do too much. I made cinnamon rolls, talked about that. I read pretty much None Shall Sleep all day. Like, I actually got really into it, so I was really happy about that. And kind of some of the B-roll film that you saw was I was watching Let's Plays. We started Resident Evil 3 Let's Play, but then I realized, oh yeah, I don't really like zombies that much, and it's just straight up you killing zombies the entire time. So we switched to their Let's Play of Resident Evil 7 because we've seen 8, and 8 was really cool. So 7 is like still zombie-esque, but not exactly the same. But it's very entertaining. It's funny. I'll link them down below, like I said. Because that's Jesse Cox, and they do Scary Game Squad, so they're really fun. And then I was on reading sprints. I was really glad. So Gabby Reads held reading sprints on our Patreon with Books with Lala, Kayla, McKay. I didn't know who he was, but I'll check out his channel and link his stuff down below. And Erin, I've seen some of her stuff. I need to go through and find her channel because it's easier to find people when their names are like in their channel, but they didn't like list her channel, so I gotta find what hers is, and I'll link hers as well. But I liked all 4 of them. They were really fun. So I got through so much that book, and it pushed me through. My hardest part about reading a book is the beginning. If I get through about halfway through a book, normally I'm good, and I'm like, okay, let's do this, and I'll finish the book probably that day or the next morning. So they got me through to page like 200, I want to say, and then I skated through the rest of it because I think it was 382 pages. So reading sprints were great. They lasted a really long time. I also watched, I was editing a video that I just put up, Things We Did in the Dark Review. Go check that out. I'll link like a card or something if I remember. And then I watched Gabby's day 1 Summerween. Or was it day 2? What's today? Day 3? Yeah, so I watched day 1 Summerween for Gabby, day 1 Summerween with shoot, what is her name? Oh, I don't remember now. I literally was just watching her day 2 one. I don't know why I don't remember that. I'll link her down below though too. Like, you saw the B-roll. You probably know who she is. She's really popular. And she's super fun, and I like her. And then, yeah, like I said, the Patreon sprints. And then I watched, I don't even remember what I watched. I really didn't like do that much yesterday. And then I just read, and I finished the book. And then, like I said, my neighbors literally had like a child birthday party rager. So we had our headphones in, and just like I was watching more YouTube videos, and we hid in our guest room. We slept in our guest room for most of the night. Ah, that was all that yesterday was. And then I talked to you this morning. So day 3, we're doing okay. So day 1 didn't do anything. Day 2, I finished a book, did a great job, pretty much read the entire book, and let's talk about it. And then shall sleep. It was fun. It was fun. I gave it 4 stars. I gave it 3.75. Very specific, because I like it better than 3.5, but I still had some issues with it. Like I said, I wanted more Mindhunter, and it gave me more just like, you know what? It was a kid's version of Silence of the Lambs, okay? Simon basically was a child Hannibal Lecter. When she walked in to meet him, he was in like a cage that had bars, and then you couldn't come within a certain thing of the bars because he was so dangerous, he would grab you and kill you, whatever. And our main character, I mean, I already don't remember, Emma. Our main character, Emma, basically is like Starling from Silence of the Lambs, and he's very fascinated with her. She's a tough nut to crack, and he's aiding her with the case. And if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, I don't know about reading it. I actually have it upstairs. I haven't finished reading it. But if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, you kind of can guess Simon's motivation of why he's telling her this stuff. It's very, very similar. Like this is Silence of the Lambs, but teenage version. So I liked it for that reason, because Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies. And I 100% think it's a horror, but we won't get into that. I know it's like, I just had to throw that out there, but it's like a huge debate whether it's a thriller or a horror, but I think there's enough horror in it, and it genuinely scares me at some parts that some horrors don't, that I'm like, I gotta call this a horror. And yeah, so it was just really fun. Again, I'm not gonna say any spoilers. I think there was a pretty good red herring in this. One of the characters I was 100% sure was like involved, and they were not. And I was like, okay, this is a pretty good red herring. If the person had been involved, it would have been like an obvious thing. So I'm glad it was a red herring. I do kind of wish there was more of a twist. Like the ending kind of was just like, yeah, it was this person, this is what was going on. If you understand anything about Mindhunter and serial killers, Silence of the Lambs, you can kind of guess the motivations of Simon, who's our like kid serial killer in the jail. So there really isn't any twist, but it was still highly enjoyable, and I think this was a very quick read. It was 382 pages. It's not a short book. It was really entertaining. So 3.75 to 4. The only thing I don't like about this book really is the cover. I really hate this cover. Like, I cannot stand it, and it makes me so sad because I really enjoyed this book, and I really don't like this cover. But because this is a book that I would normally just be like, if it was like a 3, I would just get rid of it. Normally I keep 3s, but I would just get rid of this, and I don't want to get rid of it because it was so good. But I really hate the cover. But I do like the spine. The spine's pretty good. Shoot, I can never remember which way. Okay, anyway, 3.75 stars. It was fun. Good way to kick off Summerween. And I believe I'm going to start The Counselors next. You can tell I've already read like a page of this just to see like the writing, how it felt like in the store. So we're gonna see about this. We're gonna see about this. And again, I reserve the right to add random books, because if I flow through this, that's what I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna talk about what I'm doing today. If I like go through this really fast, I only have 2 more books on my list, and I actually might add this Vicious Grace, because it's vampire-esque romance. Horror, maybe? I don't know. I don't know if it's actually horror, but it has vampires in it. So I may add that one because I got it recently in a box, and I am dying to read it because it sounds so good. And then I also might include House of Hollow because that one's been on my shelf for a while, and I really want to read that one as well. So we're gonna see. But I'm gonna read this one next. Today, again, don't have too much going on. Gabby, in her Patreon sprints, let us know about a reading sprint that is happening today, Sunday, with Haley Hughes. I just liked her page, so I don't know about her. And sorry, my dog's being all weird. And so she's doing a 10-hour reading sprint today. So I feel like I should be able to finish this in one day if I follow the reading sprints, because again, we don't really do anything on the weekends because my husband works really hard during the week, and then every third weekend I work because I work at a hospital, so you have to work weekends, part of your like shifts, and then I work randomly through the week. I'm on like a PRN as needed basis because I can't work full time because of my back, which really stinks. So I had to switch to basically part-time, but I can like pick my own schedule and stuff. It's pretty cool. But yeah, reading sprints, 10-hour reading sprints, which are really exciting. That's really it that I have for today, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the counselors, and I'm really excited about this one. Okay, so I'm currently heating my back. It is 30 minutes, so it was 1:30, until Haley Hughes's reading sprints start, and I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna read anything because I don't want to get tired, because again, it's 10 hours reading sprints. Mistake though, oh my god, so I'm a huge fan of anime, and I like manga better because anime, I like romance anime, like romantic comedy, like the cutesy stuff, and anime tends to only do one season with those, so you get a lot of stuff just goes unfinished. So I was looking up manga, and I just don't like, it's just really expensive for me to buy, because it's so many volumes, and it ends up being like $100 for a whole series, unless the series is like really long, and then it's a couple $100s. So I was trying to find some on Kindle Unlimited, and I looked up, what is it called? I looked up Say I Love You on the Amazon store to see how much it was versus me buying it on like Pango books, and they're on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm like, oh no. It's fantastic because I have Kindle Unlimited, but it's Summerween, and so I really shouldn't be reading a romantic comedy manga right now. And they have all of them. Like, there's, let's see, I'm like looking at it right now. Or I guess I can show you. So as you can see, they have volumes 1 through, oh my gosh, through 13 on Kindle Unlimited, and that leaves only 15, 16, 17, 18 not on Kindle Unlimited, which is like super feasible. And now I'm like, oh crap. Looks like I may be reading some of this in sprints. No, I need to read the counselors. We're gonna read the counselors. We're gonna be adults. Yeah, look at that. If you want to buy all of them, Kindle, it's $153, and that's just, it's too expensive for me right now. So, oh, and that doesn't even include, it doesn't even include the first book. So add another like $9 onto that. I can't do math, so I'm not gonna do it. Ugh, oh my gosh. Okay. This is gonna be an interesting reading sprint. So it has been approximately, started at 2, so 4.5 hours since the reading sprints began, and my plan was to read The Counselors, and I have read 7 volumes of the manga Say I Love You. Everything is falling apart. I feel like I should just like finish them today, like the volumes that I can get on Kindle Unlimited, and that way I literally can't read any more of them until I order some or find them somewhere, so that I can focus. Because like I'll pick up The Counselors and read like a page and be like, I want to read the manga. So I think that's the plan, is just to finish the manga that I can, and then switch to The Counselors later. It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. So it is like 9 o'clock on day 3. I was off track of what's happening. I read 12 volumes of that flippin' manga, but I did stop. I stopped and I started reading The Counselors, and it's interesting so far. I got to about page 57, so I did more than I thought I was gonna get done, so good for me. And I started marking a couple of like points because there's a couple of things that like seem like they're probably gonna be important later. So I was kind of trying my hand at tabbing, but the tabs that I have are from book boxes and they just keep falling out of the pages. So I'm gonna need to like buy some actual like tabs. Unfortunately, that's so annoying that they're not working. But I'll talk to you later about the book. This is actually going to be my last update for day 3 and for this vlog actually. So I thought I was going to do day 4, but I already have like enough material to put this out. So I'm going to finish filming tonight, and finish doing, whatchamacallit, editing, either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then upload it tomorrow morning if YouTube cooperates, because it doesn't like to cooperate sometimes when I need it to. So we're gonna see. Maybe I probably should finish editing it tonight. We'll see. Anyway, so the stuff that has happened in the book, it's interesting. Like it's definitely like summer camp vibes, which is really fun, especially for Summerween. I like the main character. Her friends are just kind of bratty. Like they're not terrible, but they're not, like, I don't love them. Like they're not the best. I'm also holding my phone, so it's like wildly shaky because I have shaky hands. But the friends are just, so basically it's this girl who's a townie whose parents work at the like local camp, and it turns out to be like for rich kids, and it's the middle of nowhere. So she basically got allowed in the camp because her parents work there. So she's like the poor kid among all the rich kids, and she's friends with these 2 girls who are really rich, but they do seem more down to earth than a lot of the other campers, which I appreciate. Like I don't want to read about her 2 best friends being absolute jerks the whole time. Like they definitely still like give off awful spoiled rich kid vibes, but it's not like horrible. It's not too bad. So it is bearable. The thing that is not bearable is, so our main character was, something like bad happened. I'm guessing she drove drunk and like hit someone with her car or something, but I guess that's like the mystery in the background, is that all the townies hate her, and she was hoping the summer would be like an escape from her normal life, and she gets to hang out with her best friends from camp that she's been friends with since she was a baby. But they go into town every once in a while, to the bars in town, even though they're 18. I guess, I know it's like a small, like, backwoods town, but I still can't imagine them serving, like, 17, 18-year-olds. But I guess I've never been to, like, a super backwoods town, so I wouldn't know. But, they go into the town, and, like, she has to, like, deal with them there, like, and the whole town hates her, all the kids hate her, and all you know is that some kid can't walk because of something she supposedly did, and now she's like broken up and on horrible terms with oh my gosh, with a like ex-boyfriend. And it's really sad because like it takes place, there's like mini chapters from before that give you hints about what happened and what like is leading up to it, and then there's like the current day, which are the longer chapters. And it's really sad because like she's in a relationship, in the past, oh shit, I caught the fly and then I let it go. She's in a relationship in the past and seems really happy currently. So it's really sad because you know they like aren't together, and she's sad about it, and he's like, I don't know about what he is, but he won't look at her when he saw her or when she saw him. So it's kind of just like weirdly sad for a thriller like starting off. It's like seeing the dissolution slowly of a relationship, and I hate that. I like happy things. But otherwise it's actually pretty good. I didn't have high hopes for this because it has kind of poor ratings on Goodreads, but with thrillers I tend to be more generous than the average person. So I am enjoying it. It's fun. It's giving me good vibes. I'm actually really excited to continue reading it. And my hope is obviously that they're going to reconcile at the end. I am very concerned that the ex-boyfriend is going to be the killer. Because all I know from the synopsis is one of her friends dies at the camp. I don't know anything other than that. I haven't gotten to that point. It still hasn't happened in 57 pages. Basically, we're just learning about Evan's backstory. Oh, and there's like a ton of characters. Like, there's like an unnecessary number of characters that they brought up. There's like, and by name. Like, it's not like, oh, the hockey group. No, it's like the name of one of the popular kids, her ex-boyfriend, the brother of the guy that was paralyzed, and the guy who was paralyzed, and then one of their other random friends. And then there's like 7 people at camp that they've named that they're hanging around with. It's just a lot. And then a million of the campers, you have to remember their names. And then the parents of some of the people from the town that you have to remember. And then one of the kitchen staff, the guy that she has a crush on that's also part of the staff, you know his name. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't know anyone's names. So that's probably been my biggest challenge. But I'm enjoying it so far, and this will be probably my end of day 3, and I will start a new vlog for day 4. So I'll see you guys in the next vlog.